You've probably heard the phrase before, time is of the essence. Now, what does that mean? Well, for most people, it means that time is limited. It's scarce. It's running out, right? We don't have a lot of it. That's the Muggle framework of looking at time, but if you really understand law of assumption and what Neville Goddard teaches, you start to understand that time is really irrelevant when it comes to your manifestation. And here's why. Hi, my name is Justin. Welcome back to my reality. On this channel, we talk about manifestation, spirituality, and so much more. We also talk about why time's a fucking illusion, and that's what we're going to get in today. But for anyone who doesn't know already, I am offering affordable as fuck coaching. So if you want to dive in a little bit deeper, bridge the gap between you and your manifestation, get you really stepped into your dream reality, then all the information is in the drop box below. And if you really resonate with my content, I'd love to have you a part of the community. And yeah, let's get into the video. So Neville said that creation is finished. And how I like to look at manifestation, how I've started to look at manifestation more to really emphasize this idea is understanding manifestation is just the unseen to the seen, right? All of our unseen desires, which are considered imaginary or part of the 4D spiritual realm, crystallizing into 3D. And that's because even though, we say we are manifesting something, what we're really doing is we are selecting the version of reality where we are already experiencing or have our desire. And really, it should be called the art of selecting, the law of deciding, however you want to put it, because we're really not manifesting anything. We're not creating. We are selecting from an infinite amount of possibilities, of realities that exist. And the more you focus your attention on a reality, on thoughts, on feelings, on really embodying the version of yourself that has your desire, the more you literally pull that reality to you and jump into that reality as your current experience. So this means that everything you could really think of, anything you could desire or want, exists. The relationship, it exists. The money exists. The success, it all exists. It exists here and now because if you think about it, there is no past and there is no future. The only moment you've ever experienced is the present moment. Now, we put labels on the present moment. We consider the previous present moment that we've experienced to be the past and the moments that come after to be considered the future. But in every moment, it's always the present moment. So you never truly experience something that is truly in the past or in the future. Because when you experience those things, you're going to be in a present moment. So that's why the present moment is the only moment that exists. So it's not about trying to create something outside of you. Again, it's about selecting and drawing that experience to you. But this is why instant manifestation is also a thing, right? Because I believe, everyone has different time frames on what they consider to be instant manifestation. But really, manifestation in itself is instant. Because the moment you decide something, you technically do have it. Really, what's controlling everything is the awareness of having your desire. So for instance, like you could be watching something on TV, right? You could be on a completely different channel and unaware that the new episode of your favorite TV show, and I know cable's kind of like ancient, so this is not the best example, but you could be in the awareness of your favorite TV channel not being on, right? Or your favorite YouTuber not being live, and you find out after the fact, like, holy shit, that person was live. I just wasn't in the awareness that they were. So how could I experience something I'm not in the awareness of? I hope this makes sense, because basically what I'm trying to say is that the only thing holding you back from you and your desire is the awareness that you do not have it yet. The longer you assume something is outside of you, the longer you assume something is farther away or is far away in general, the more you're literally deciding for yourself that reality hasn't happened yet. You're still in the process of tuning to that reality or jumping into that timeline, right? And by the way, as a disclaimer, like, I don't think that saying, oh, my manifestation is coming isn't technically a bad thing. I think saying that it's coming or that it's unfolding for you somehow, some way, I will be led to my desire. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, especially if you have a lot of limiting beliefs, or you're really attached to a story, or have a lot of resistance towards your desire. That can really ease up on the resistance and actually bring you your desire. I don't think just because you say, oh, it's coming, doesn't mean you'll never get your desire. But what we really want to do is, as much as possible and as close as possible, we want to shift to already knowing that it's ours right here, now, in this moment, because that solidifies the decision and that jumps you in to the reality where you do have it. Because manifestation is all about deciding that you have something, deciding that you're experiencing something now, and then persisting in that decision. So when you stop seeing your desire as something as separate, as something you need to do, all these actions you need to take before you're able to experience your desire, really that's the gap between you and your manifestation. Stop assuming that it's in the future and assume that it's here now and that you are experiencing it now just because you decide so. Not because you need anyone to tell you that it is, not because you need reality to confirm with signs. You just decide and persist in that decision because you are divine source having a human experience. So anything you say goes. Nothing is truly separate from you. There's just the illusion of separation in order to have this physical experience, because if there was no illusion of separation, then we could not experience anything to be outside of us. There would be nothing to experience because everything would be contained within the all. And there needs to be an illusion of separation to really also discover the truth of who you are. The truth that consciousness is one, that we are all one entity playing different characters, right? So it's understanding that time isn't moving you towards anything. It's not even moving you towards your desire. Time is now. You are now. Awareness is always now. So you just have to be conscious of what you're aware of. Are you consciously aware of your desire being right here in this moment without any evidence proving to you that it is? Because when you assume something, you're really just accepting something as fact without proof. That's literally what an assumption is, right? That's why the acceptance of the end wills the means, because you jump to the end. And yes, like, you can manifest in steps, right? But like I said, really the goal is to automatically get to the end and jump into that state of your wish already being fulfilled. So I hope you guys see the shift, because it's not about hoping, it's not about waiting, it's not about someone outside of you, confirming your worth and value, confessing their love for you, because you already know, with or without the person standing in your, 3D physical reality, that you are chosen, that you are loved, that you are the prize, right? That everything goes your way, everything works out for you. So knowing that 3D reality is just an extension of you, that it will reflect that back to you. So next time, you go down the spiral, you go down the train of thought of, why isn't it here? Where is it? How much longer until it is here? All you have to do is redirect your mind. Redirect your mind and remind yourself, oh yeah, I already fucking have it. Like, it's literally that simple. I decide that I have it because I am the operant power of my reality. And again, guys, this isn't something that will always come so easy on some days, and some desires, depending on your self-concept, depending on your beliefs, right? It can really, feel like you're going against the grain sometimes. But that's the time where you really need to be persistent in your power. You need to be persistent in your self-concept. And to the best of your ability, step into your God state. Because there's different levels of consciousness, right? Of our God state. And so, while we can say that we are the creator of our realities, sometimes that's not as easy to embody. And we're human, we're having a human experience. Perfection isn't required. But if you really want something, if you want it bad enough, if you truly want your desire, if you truly just also want to transcend just getting the desire and leveling up your self concept, leveling up your understanding of being God. This is really the work to do. The work to do is to remain persistent in your decision. Declare with conviction, claim with conviction that you are on your highest timeline because you are the decider of reality. In essence, there is no time, right? All time is happening now. This is one big, long ass, eternal now moment. And the quicker we start viewing reality from that framework, the easier, the quicker it will be to accept that our desire is already here. It's already ours. The wish is already fulfilled. Even though manifestation is simple, stepping into your God state, really understanding your power as divine source, having a human experience, it's not always the easiest thing to do. Subtly shift your mindset. Shift your mindset from I need to do something outside of me to bring my desire to knowing that your desire is already yours just because you can imagine it, and nothing can truly stop you from experiencing what you want when you understand this, when you understand that time is really an illusion. It's just a construct. It's just a way that, we interact in this 3D linear experience because it's perceived linearly, but really all time is happening now. If you resonate with this content, please again like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.